Welcome to the Lovoni and Sarah podcast, where we chat weight loss, health, well-being, and share our stories to help and inspire others. I'm Lovoni.
And I'm Sarah, and on today's episode, we're celebrating our first birthday. In January 2023, Lovoni and I started a podcast called The Waiting Room. Several episodes into it, we discovered we weren't the only podcast with that name, so we changed our name to the Lovoni and Sarah podcast, and here we are today. 50 episodes recorded, lots learnt, and excited to share with you all brand new content, exceptional guests, some of you that you may already know, and challenges for you to partake in, reviews of anything and everything that we might think is helpful to you, and so much more.
So, Happy New Year. Cheers to you all, and cheers to
Cheers.
us and our
Cheers
podcast
to
on its
us.
first birthday.
Our first birthday. Can you believe it?
But before we dive into what's to come, we have to do a quick catch up, of course. Sarah, how was your
Yes.
holiday season? I'm going to be under the table asleep by
If I see you like slinking down under, I'll be like, Lovoni, come back, join us.
Wake up.
I had a
How
great
was your
holiday
holiday
season. There was a few pounds gained, which I had already decided, or not
God.
decided, but accepted that
You
was
did.
going to
I
happen.
decided.
I decided I was
definitely
definitely
going to gain a few
I
pounds.
was definitely going to work on that.
I had that goal, that
I
challenge.
had prepared myself for that.
Right.
But I have to say, I made a lot more conscious decisions this time round than I have done in many, many years before. So I didn't go for second helpings of things. I didn't have alcohol, but that was more enforced than natural choice because I had to take some antibiotics. So that probably helped as well. But yeah, I really enjoyed my Christmas and New Year, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this year to come.
Right.
Really
Same. Yeah, I'm
excited.
excited for this year.
But
Normally
your
I don't like
Christmas,
my Christmas was it was crazy. Yeah. Mine, basically all I did, because I just got back from Australia, like literally
literally a few
just
hours
got back
ago.
from Australia a few hours
Yeah.
ago. So yeah, by the time I got home, and I haven't unpacked yet, I've got stuff everywhere. It was I crawled into bed, it was 2:30 this morning. So and then I was up at 6:30. So and it was 28, 30 hours of traveling. So
Yes.
I'm feeling a little
You
bleary-eyed
look
this
very
morning.
good on it. I was
Oh,
going to
thank
say, you look
you.
really
Oh,
very good
thank
on it.
God for makeup. But yeah, all I did for 3 weeks pretty much was eat and sweat. That was
Okay.
yeah. But lots of salads and loads of
I
seafood.
say lots of good food.
Yes, yeah. And not a lot of sweets, but a lot of my sister's fruit cake, which really, fruit cake just goes in one hole and out the other.
Well, it's got fruit in
Sorry,
it. It's
it's
going to be
very high in
healthy.
fiber. Yes, yeah, exactly, and a lot of booze. So, and I did drink, not to excess, apart from my second last day where I had three of the most delicious cocktails I have ever had in my life. I'm going to try and replicate them and
Well, you were
put them on
leaving,
my
so it was
blog, and I
time to
was
a
leaving.
last hurrah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I haven't weighed myself, and I know I've put on weight, but I'm not dwelling on it, or I'm just okay, yeah,
No, well, I
dealing with
said
it.
before Christmas started, like it's going to happen. It's in a season with excess of food, excess of drink. Just make your way through it however you choose to, and there's
Right.
no beating yourself up. So it's done. You've enjoyed it, and now it's
Mm-hmm.
fresh times.
I was going to walk every morning. So my first morning there,
Yes.
my sister and I get up, we go for a walk, and around, where they live in Sydney, and it was hot, and I didn't have my contacts in, and I'd forgot my prescription sunglasses, so I didn't have sunglasses on, so it was like, this is all first world problem, of course, hilly, uneven, and so I just basically bitched the whole walk. And when we got back, I said, the only thing that would have made that better,
Yes.
would have been flies. And that really would have. So that was
Polished it
it.
off.
That was my walk, day one.
Right.
Yes. But I swam and,
Okay.
yeah, threw myself around in the ocean. So there was
Oh, how
that.
nice.
Yeah, it was nice, I have to say. It was nice being by the beach. This morning, I said to my husband, okay, quick, before I cover myself up with, because back in the cold into the
Yes.
US, into the cold, before I'm going to be completely covered from head to toe, you need to look at my tan
Go
in my
quick.
tan line. So I was showing him, and he's like, "Oh wow, your back and your shoulders, they're really brown." I'm like, "Yes, well, that'll probably be about the last time we see
See this for
that."
quite some while.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so on to some things that we want to do with our catch up,
Yes.
and it's just some things that we're going to be doing on our podcast for over the next 12 months.
Well, it's just an
Um,
exciting time to sort of think that we're in the position now that, we've come so far in the last year. We've learned,
right.
the actual mechanics of how to do the podcasting differently.
Well,
Um,
yes.
and we're now,
One would
video
think
form.
that
You would
they
like to
have.
think we're there, but
I sent Sarah into a tailspin while I was away, naming things wrong and uploading. Oh gosh. Yeah,
it's
anyway.
fine. It's all fixable. um, so on top of that, we're in a place now that we can start thinking about what we really want to do. We've got exciting plans, haven't we, for this
Yeah,
year?
yeah. And some really great guests too
Yes. Yeah,
coming
really
up
great
that I'm
guest.
excited about. And I think, people follow people on social media. They may know of some of
Hmm.
our guests, but you'll just all have to wait and see about
All to be
that.
revealed. All to be
Yeah,
revealed.
yeah. So one of the things that we were going to talk about was how we've changed over the
Yeah.
last 12 months doing this. And so for me, I just wrote down when I was on the plane coming home, because you've got
Some time.
a lot of time in this 15 and a half hours just from that
Yes.
first leg. So, and I'm not where I want to be. I lost 20 pounds, and that was nowhere near what I wanted to do, but I'm not dwelling on that. I'm thinking about the positive things.
Yes.
Um, and one of them is that I've developed routines that will aid me as I go along with
Hmm.
this. Um, and determination. That is a huge thing for me. Like, I am so fucking determined to do this. It's not
Yeah.
funny. And understand that it's about small changes.
Yes.
It's
That's
not,
funny. I've written that
because
down.
that's where I have fallen into just, not sticking with anything, is because there's that whole, and I think so many people want it, that immediate
Yeah.
change. Need to lose weight, it needs to be gone tomorrow, but
Yeah.
that's never going to happen. um and just understand that it's about the small changes. Stop looking for quick and easy solutions, and just enjoying the foods that I
Hmm.
prepare, enjoying meal prepping, enjoying putting on a dress and going, okay, wow, I can fit into this.
Yeah.
I hadn't been able to. Um, and then understanding that it's not an on and off thing. It's not
Yes.
something that, oh, okay, I'm on a diet.
I'm doing it or I'm not
I'm
doing
gonna
it.
do
Yeah.
this for 3 months and then I'll be off it. It's not about that. It's just about a lifestyle. And I know we're like a broken record about that, but it's so true.
Yeah.
I'm also loving that I was getting stronger. Like before, I left to go home to Australia. Um, I was doing quite a bit with weights, and I could feel it, that I was getting
Yeah.
stronger and stronger, like especially my legs, because after having both my knees replaced, then you're sort of starting again there,
Hmm.
with the strength in your knees, so in your legs. Um, Holding myself accountable, but not beating myself up, understanding, as we had said about, things that we wanted to discuss on this particular episode,
Yeah.
was that the greatest relationship, because we did an episode on this, is the one that you have with yourself.
Yeah.
So in that comes treating yourself better, doesn't it?
It is. And I listened back to that. So
Oh, you
I
did.
went back to our very
Oh,
first,
okay,
our
good
very
for
first one.
you.
And part of me was like, wow, okay. Positive that we're slightly different now, or at least I think it seems a bit different now, so
Yeah,
that's good. But one of the things that we first started talking about in that episode was perfection. Um,
right.
and there is no such thing. And actually, that's one of the things that I've written down, that how I feel I've changed in the last 12 months. Um,
Sorry, now I've started.
you're on it now. Um,
Ah,
more educated with regards
Mm.
to nutrition and what I'm eating
Yeah.
and why I'm eating it
Yeah.
and the way that I'm eating and the reasons that I'm doing that. So even at
Mhm.
times when I've sort of found myself in a pattern that's not where I want to be doing, at least I can recognize that now and the
Yeah.
reasons why. I feel less rushed. So a bit like you were saying is, before my mindset was all a case of, well, I've got a deadline. I have to be 20 pounds lighter by that point. And if
Yeah.
I haven't, then I've failed and everything, my life is going to be better when I'm at that point. And it's all going to, no,
Mhm.
all of that is gone. I'm far less rushed. Another great thing is I'm enjoying different food than I've ever eaten
Mhm.
before, and I'm genuinely really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the cooking of it.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying the even buying the product, produce and choosing the different things. So I'm
Right. Yeah.
really enjoying different food. But I think that's if I can try and encapsulate all of that is that perfectionism, which I think we should talk about a bit more on a different episode, actually, a lot more about
Mhm.
perfectionism, because I think there's a lot more to dig into there. But there is no such thing as perfect. There is no
No.
such thing. And
No.
so
Mm-mm.
what I'm now is in the mindset of it just needs to be better. Each time I
Yes.
try and do something, I'm just
Mhm.
striving to be better than I was before, or the last time I did it, or whatever
Yeah.
that might be, even a tiny, tiny bit. And so
Mhm.
that's how I've changed. I think is, in putting all of that into a pot is saying, yes, I'm enjoying all of the different foods and what I've learned and the way that I'm approaching things, but it's just leaving that stressful rush to try and get to be perfect is
Mhm.
actually,
Trying to get from point A to point
yeah, you're
B
never gonna reach it because
in
there is no such thing. Yeah.
well, in total unrealistic time,
Mhm.
totally unrealistic goals. One thing I hung out with some old friends when I was home, and I stayed with one of them, and he had always been because he's tall, but he'd always been really thin, and he's got like a pot belly. We're the same age now. Well, not the same age, it's 9 months difference, but since he's got older, he's got a pot belly, and that's really from drinking
Mhm.
beer, is his thing, and he really wants to get healthier and feel better and all of that. And I said to him, honestly, you just have to make small changes.
Yeah.
You can't go, okay, tomorrow I'm going to cut out all alcohol, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If it's unrealistic, you're not going to stick to it. Just make
Yeah.
small changes. And I said that is what works for me.
Mhm.
And that was just I don't know, it's taken me a long time to understand that that's what works for me. And I think really it works for a lot of people. And I've said this before. If you want to save money, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and it's all going to be in the bank. It's over a period of time, little by
Yeah.
little by little. It's like anything,
If
you
we
chip
then
away
think
at it.
about what the last 12 months have been for us, there's been so much learning. It's been learning on how to do a podcast and how to make this
Right.
better because we want to get, the we want our podcast to be good for our listeners because we want them to enjoy the experience. So the better and more
Mhm.
polished we can become at that means hopefully
Right.
the better listening for them, the content
Mhm.
that we're looking at. So we've
Mhm.
learned along the way and the content we've done has been really great foundation. And I think that's kind of one of the things you were just describing. What I was hearing was the fact that you feel okay, you lost 20 pounds, but you haven't done completely what you wanted to do. But that's
Mhm.
irrelevant. What you've done and what we've done within the podcast is lay this great foundation
Foundation.
um,
Mhm.
to then say, right, we can now build. So we can build on the podcast itself, the way that we're doing
Mhm.
things, and the guests that we are looking to bring on, and what we're going to do within our journey and our website and
Mhm.
recording that. But personally, that foundation then for both of us is something that we can then really build on. And that's why I'm excited because I feel that 2023 was a big year, actually. It was a big
Yeah.
year for
Learning.
individually the stuff we were doing, the learning, my surgery. That's been a big mindset shift for me
Mhm.
because the second one was done. I hadn't realized quite how much it was hanging over me, thinking, I know I've got to get the second one done. So, two within
Right.
13 months, you had the year before that too, but really close together. And so
Mhm.
now we're at that point of going, let's use it then. Let's
Yes.
put this to some really
Yeah,
good
it's
use.
like
And
being given a second chance
yeah,
almost.
that's
I
where
don't
I feel
know.
like I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm like so
Yeah.
excited to get started
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
this next bit. Um, so for me, that's what on reflection, that's what those 12 months have been. It's
Mhm.
really, really worth celebrating. So cheers again. Come on, let's
Cheers
do it
again.
again. Cheers
Cheers
again.
again. Okay, I am gonna be asleep under the table. Mm.
Because I just think we have to really acknowledge what what we've done, what we've learned, and the progress we've
Right.
made. We have both lost weight within those
Mm-hmm.
12 months. So
Yeah.
that's
And we've
already a
showed
step
up.
forward.
Like, we
Yeah.
decided to do this, right? And so we've showed up.
But we've
Both of
also
us
been really
have,
honest, on the times
yes.
that haven't gone well. We haven't tried to sort of polish the turd, if you like,
Right.
and sort of go, oh, it's all
Right.
fine.
Right.
We've been
I
really
had
honest about that.
I had someone, and my nickname with her is Cindy, as in, like, from the Brady Bunch. Americans and Aussies will know this.
Right.
I'm like her little sister, and so she's Marsha, I'm Cindy, and my sister's Jan. But anyway, she said to me, and I saw her, and she's like, God, Cindy, I've been listening to your podcast. I learned things about you that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I said, well, part of doing this is you have to be real with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And if we put out everything and just pretend and it's sunshine and roses, I mean, that's not real.
And I was
Because,
talking to a friend, and she said that actually we hadn't caught up for a long time, but she said she's
right,
really enjoying listening, is the fact that she feels that some of the concerns or the worries or the doubts that she had, that she thought she was the only one, just
right,
taking a listen to us having a really honest conversation, she's like,
mm-hmm,
oh, I'm not the only one at all, and that's the thing.
right,
We're building this community, building this group, this safe, you know place where people,
environment,
no matter
mm-hmm,
who you are, age, race, gender, doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't
The
matter,
likelihood
yeah,
is you've experienced is a version of this in one way or
mm-hmm,
another, if this is
some
kind of
stage,
something that you're focusing on. So this is great as well. It just feels that we can now, we've kind of given all of that base stuff to everybody. So
mm-hmm.
let's now all together, let's all move on and start to do
Move
something
on.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And lead by example. That's what's really important
Yeah.
for me, is that we have these chats, we, cover different topics every week, but I really want to lead by example to help others and hopefully, inspire others. So,
Hmm.
and I think, they'll see that as
So what
time,
are we going to
as,
do for
the
that then,
months roll
Livoni?
on.
What are we going to do
Oh,
to
what,
make
to
those?
lead by
Yeah.
example?
What
Well,
sort of
to,
things?
to eat food that's nutrition based,
Yeah.
right? That, that centers nutrition is always there,
Yeah.
but it has to be balanced. You can have a bit of cake, but to lose weight, but to look healthy and
Hmm.
feel vital. And I think that, like, have vitality and just feel really good. And I think that comes through, and people will see that.
Yeah.
They will see, clearer eyes, clearer skin, just looking better and seeming better in ourselves
Yeah.
too. So that's something that, I'm looking forward to sharing with people.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
I'm
We
going to
can
be,
actively share that, aren't we? That's what we sort of said. We're
yeah,
going to make
yeah,
sure that we share our progress,
mm-hmm,
probably
yeah,
more than we did in the last 12 months. We've
yeah,
talked about it. Now we're going to
mm-hmm,
really be very accountable and open and
yeah.
scarily honest, probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's something we're talking about. Sarah and I are talking about doing this thing where every 2 weeks we take, pictures of
Hmm.
ourselves, maybe in the same outfit or whatever. And then over a period of time, then we'll do a reel to show it
Yeah.
so people could see how we're making progress.
And maybe
So
people
that's
can share
one of
that
the
with us
things.
too, if they'd
Maybe,
like to join
yeah,
in. Yeah.
yeah. Another thing that we are going to be doing is setting challenges, like a weekly
Yeah.
challenge, just a small challenge. And we will talk about what the next week's one's going to be. And then do maybe some bigger
Bigger
challenges
ones.
over a month. We've got a really good one coming up in February that I'm super excited about.
Yep.
And then, get people to join in and share their stories, which I hope people do.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so there are a couple of exciting things. Like I said, guests that people will know. Um, what else have we got coming up? Oh, I know, like Sarah was saying in the intro, um, like sharing some cookbooks even.
Yeah.
Like,
Things
this
that
is
we
a
found that we
cookbook.
love. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, even some challenges, I was thinking this would be a good one. Like, how many people have lots of cookbooks but don't actually use them?
Hmm.
So, maybe starting something, and I'm just throwing this out there, I haven't even talked to Sarah about this, but where on a Sunday, Sundays, like, take a cookbook and cook a recipe out of it,
Yep.
and maybe share it with us or something. Or you don't have to share it, but just to use your cookbooks,
Actually
you
use
know
them. Yep.
yeah, Yeah, so I thought that would be a good thing. I'm thinking I might put that up on YouTube too when I
Yeah,
do that. This is a book because I've got some good books and I go through and I cull mine, but I got 5 or 6 new books for Christmas that I'm really excited about. Yeah, excited about
exciting.
those.
I tell you what I've started doing. I've started making some progress trackers. So I've got a new bullet journal ready for 2024, and I've set it all up. Well, I've started setting it up. It's a long old
S-
process to set a bullet journal. What are you laughing at me
Sarah,
for?
I'm laughing at because I'm just seeing it all in a spreadsheet. Sarah likes spreadsheets.
I do
Yeah.
like a bit of spreadsheet action, yeah.
I just am so hopeless at using those.
But
Oh
I've
my
set up
God.
accountability trackers, so I've done that
Oh, well done.
for progress within regards to weight. I've done that with regards to accountability with regards to my exercise.
Right.
I'm having to approach that a little bit differently with regards to sort of post-surgery rehabilitation. So I've got to really
Mm-hmm.
put some stretching and some movement in there that's not just about strength training or cardio.
Right.
So I've kind of been really bit more prescriptive on that for myself to try and
For
make
your
sure that,
hip.
yeah, for my hip and
Yeah.
my overall health actually, because
Mm.
obviously having walked a certain way for 47 years, your body
Right.
is sort of got used to that. So it's kind of
Yeah.
because I'm really excited and really eager to get into this world where I can actually do things,
Mm-hmm.
move differently. So that's going to take some work for me. That's not going to happen by me just suddenly waking up one day and it's going to be done. So
Mm-hmm.
I've put it together as a plan because do you know what? To get anything done, you need a bit of a plan.
You've got to start somewhere.
That said, all of the things that we've said, I've got no date deadline on any of it.
Right.
Not a
Right.
single one. None of them
Yeah.
have
But you've written it down.
a criteria. I don't
I think
have
that's
I
important.
don't have any major goals that I have to be doing something by
Right.
this is all
Mm-hmm.
about the end goal in a year's time. I want to be a
Mm-hmm.
lot stronger and fitter and healthier than I am now.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
end of it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I've done. And actually, I quite like the fact that it's all there laid out for me in my book. And I can start to follow this plan and I can tick things off as I start to achieve things because there is
Right.
a real sense of achievement as soon as you tick something off, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To say, yeah, I've
I
done
love
that.
that.
A tiny little thing.
Oh.
What?
I've written it. Well, now I want to do that.
Oh,
Now I
you need to do
have
it
like
too.
plan envy. I mean, I've written it down in just in a notebook, but I need to put it in my journal. I
Put it
think
in
I
your journal
will.
and make it all look
Put it
nice
in
and
my
everything.
journal. Yeah,
Yeah,
make it look nice.
yeah.
Because, my plans for the year is just seeing consistent progress,
Mhm.
whatever that is. Whether it's, this just small movement downwards on the scale, daily exercise, because that's one thing. I know nutrition is a huge part
Yeah.
of getting healthy and losing weight, but for me, exercise is a huge
Mhm.
thing. It sets me up for mentally.
Yeah.
It helps me with stress, but it also, because I'm a morning exerciser, when I do that, not only do I feel like kind of chuffed with myself for doing it, but it sets me up for just a good day,
Yeah.
I have to say. So just to continue on with my daily exercise, um, this is a big thing. I've been talking about writing a book for a long time.
Ages.
I haven't written a cookbook in so long. So this year it's time to
It's
to
time.
start it. It's time.
Yay, that's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
Yeah, go me, right?
Yeah.
So that's I here we are. 15 years I figured it out.
Really?
Which, to some people would be like, okay, well, I've never written a cookbook, but that's what I do. So
Yes.
I've been so busy working on everybody else's cookbook, helping them, whether it's photographing them
Yeah.
or food styling or testing recipes or writing recipes or whatever for them. But so it's time to do my own. So yes, that's the big
That's
thing.
exciting.
Big thing, yeah, for 2024.
I've
Yeah.
got on my list for my personal plans. So the foundation for me is my health, my fitness, and my strength. So all of
Mm-hmm.
those things we just described. But then that's what that's going to enable me to do is to travel more. I want to travel
Oh
more
yeah.
this year. I want to have fun. I feel like last year was quite serious and a bit sort of
Mm-hmm.
getting everything done and obviously having to sort of overcome things. So I want to have fun this year, whatever that looks
Yes.
like. and I want to be more active. So outside of doing dedicated exercise time, outside of all of that,
Mhm.
I just want to be more active. So whether that means that I can go and do the paddle boarding that I've never done that I always want to do, or whether it
Right.
means sort of longer bike rides or something like that. I just want to be more active.
Mhm.
So those are my three sort of highlights that I want to make sure that I
That you
do this
do.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
is
Well,
travel,
they're
have
good.
more fun, and be more active.
Mine, some other things on my list were to connect with like-minded people
Yes.
and to help people, like to help people through this, because I found just being, putting on all this weight for me has just been so depressing and just it weighs heavily without, no
Yeah.
pun intended, but it really does. And so I want to help people because I know what an absolute shit feeling that is,
Yeah.
feeling like this constantly. And in saying that, and what, we were sort of reflecting back on with the most important relationship that you ever have is the one for you with yourself,
Yourself.
which means that you have to be kind to yourself. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
fine to say, come on, you got this, girl, give yourself a bit of a kick, but don't be nasty to yourself
Yeah.
because you think, oh my God, the way that that I speak to myself sometimes, whether it's out loud or internalizing it, I would never say to a friend.
Yeah.
So more of that, a bit more kindness to myself, and not focusing on gotta lose weight, gotta lose weight, gotta lose weight, because the
Hmm.
more you think about something, the more of that you seem to get back.
Yeah.
So, rather than, I've got this is great, I'm doing it, I'm going to do it, more of that sort
Hmm.
of gratitude and affirmations, for want of a better word,
Yeah.
more of that type of thing I want to do. Um, and also for you were saying with your personal plans, is I want to not spend so much money
Okay.
in 2024. Yeah.
Actually, that's funny. I thought about is not being wasteful with money. It's not so much for me the
Right.
spending. I just don't want to waste. I think that sometimes I've made wasteful purchases or
Right.
spent it without having any value to it. So I want to make sure that I get
Mhm.
value for the money that I'm spending.
I just, rather than thinking, oh, I like that, or,
Hmm.
seeing somebody use something on social media, I know this is a whole lot of people fall into. You think, oh, I'd like to have that.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to, because part of what I'm also working on this year and we have coming up is just paring back with things,
Hmm.
getting rid of more things that don't serve me, that clutter the home up. And in doing so, I think, clutter the mind up.
Yeah.
And you can't be buying stuff and purging. It just doesn't
No, it was
work like
counterintuitive.
that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Unless, caveat here, it's for storage.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
some good storage. Like I need some more jars for the kitchen, things like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm just going to be careful about I'm just not going to spend money needlessly. I also want to nurture the relationships that I have. That's something that,
Hmm.
because last year I said it was to focus on myself, focus on my
Yeah.
business, where I want to take it, what I wanted to do. And this year is going to be all about that, but also just to nurture, the
Yeah. That's
relationships,
good.
like my marriage and my friends that I
Yeah.
love. So, yeah, more of that. And sleep. Sleep is on my list. Yes.
It would help you.
Yes. It would help a
Yes.
lot because I'm not a good sleeper. Yeah. Do we want to talk about this week's challenge? I think we should.
Let's go for it. Go on.
Let's
This is
go.
your challenge. You set this one, so you
Oh,
talk about
okay,
it.
radio. So what we're going to do, challenge of the week, and like I said, we're going to be doing this every week.
Yeah.
This week's challenge, get ready for it, is to cook all your meals this week.
Every
So
single
no
one.
eating out, every single one. No eating out, no takeaway, no processed food, no um buying like a pre-cooked meal,
Ready,
heating it in the
red.
microwave.
Hmm.
That doesn't count. So all food that you eat is made by you,
Yep, I am
or,
so
or
in for
your,
this.
yes,
Yeah,
or, your better half or
at
whatever, or your
home. Yeah,
mom, or
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but it's basically all made at home.
yeah.
So that's going to be our weekly challenge. So we hope people will partake in that.
Yeah, that would be great. And see
Yeah.
and they can share what they've been
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah. What about a couple of recipes you're going to try
I've
this week,
chosen
Sarah?
two to tell people about. So
Okay.
my first one, I also got some really lovely cookbooks for Christmas.
Right.
One was
Right.
courtesy of your very good self. But the first one that I'm going to talk about is I'm going to cook chili with baked sweet potatoes, and it's come
Oh,
from
that
this
sounds
book
yummy.
here. It's called The Doctor
Oh.
Bowl by Dr. Divya
Oh.
Sharma.
And so it's all different bowls,
Different, no,
like
different,
different.
well, different foods, but it's all something has kind of got some medicinal benefit to it with regards to
Okay.
it's all quality nutrition. It's just nutritious food.
Right.
Simple as that,
Okay.
really.
Right.
I have cooked one recipe out of here already. We made this actually is the royal me. I didn't cook any of it. But we made the vegetable biryani on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
So had
yum. Oh, I
that
do like
with,
a good biryani.
oh, Lovoni, it was
Mm.
delicious. Absolutely
Mm.
delicious. The only downfall is
Oh.
it was supposed to serve 6. And we're like, oh.
Oh, that only
No.
served 2.
No, there was some leftovers, but it wouldn't have served 6. So anyway, that's the only thing I
Right.
think is to work on portion size. So my first recipe is going to come from here, chili with
Okay.
potato. My second recipe that I'm going to talk about
Oh,
cooking is the one from the book that you gave me, which is a
I love
gorgeous
this boy.
book, The Farm Table, Julius Roberts. So Lovoni
Yes.
gave me this for Christmas. It's a wonderful book. And
People need to follow him on Instagram if they're not.
yeah,
He has
I'm
a
going to
small holding
cook.
farm.
And it's really cool.
Brilliant. Yeah.
The potato latkes, smoked trout, horseradish, and
Oh,
watercress. Oh,
oh my God.
I know.
That
So there
sounds
you
so good.
go.
I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten
Me too. My
like a
mouth's
real
actually
meal
watering.
in ages. Oh my goodness.
So there you go. There's my two. So
Okay.
that's my two. Obviously, I'm fully subscribed to our goal. I'm going to do all of or challenge, I should say. I'm going to do all of the cooking this week, but there's 2 meals that I'm going to be doing. What about you? What are
Well, I
yours?
was just trying to find my list,
Oh,
which I did en route. Oh, good
get
grief.
lost.
One of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to make a um broccoli and cauliflower frittata. I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Nice.
Something simple. I'm just going to have a simple salad with it, so I could have that for breakfast if I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to do a Vietnamese caramelized chicken dish.
Oh,
I'd
nice.
really like to find my list. Oh, wait, this is it? No. God, I should remember what was on there. What else was I going to do? Anyway, I don't know. I think it's out in the kitchen. My piece. Oh no,
Got it?
I've got it.
Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that one, I'm gonna do a chicken and shrimp curry. Oh, so when I was home, my sister made this roasted eggplant dish, and it was really simple,
Mm.
but it was so good. She just sliced eggplant up, tossed them with some chili and some garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper, and roasted it. So I'm going to do a version of that, but I'm going to add some roasted peppers, some pine nuts, some raisins, maybe a bit of feta and some mint.
Mm.
So yeah, that's something I'm doing as
That sounds
well.
great.
And I'm absolutely craving, because while I was home, I ate lots of roasted pumpkin or squash, as they call it here. I'm just going to do some roasted squash, maybe with some curry or just some hot
Mm.
spices. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. These are the couple of books I got. I got this one, Jamie's 5-minute,
Jamie,
5
okay.
ingredient Mediterranean. So there's several things in there that I'm going to make. Now this one, oh, this got a little beat up in the suitcase. But look at this.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
I know, right? But it's Neil Perry, who's an Aussie chef. Everything I love to cook. And so I'm flicking through there, and there's just so many nice things. So I think for my next week,
Mm-hmm.
recipes I'm going to do will come out of some of the books. And I got like a really great air fryer book as well. Yeah. So anyway, stay tuned for those.
We can share some photos maybe when we've made them and then show people how they
For
turned out.
sure.
Mhm.
And that's another thing. I want to be able, posting more recipes and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's
There's
all
time.
in the plan. Join us next week with our special guest, Danny Spies. I hope I say Danny's last name correctly. Danny is a holistic weight loss coach. She's a food blogger and a YouTuber with over 2 million subscribers. She's talking to us about why diets don't work, her own weight loss journey, and her clean and delicious cookbook that I actually worked on.
Mhm.
So make sure you join us for that. She has like a no nonsense, totally approachable way to getting healthy and losing weight with some great recipes. So I'm really excited to talk to her. As always, thank you so much for listening. Visit our website, lovoniandsarah.com, for more on each episode, as well as some delicious recipes. Find links in the notes below to connect with us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can now watch us as well as listen to us if you're into that. Thanks for listening, and we hope that everybody has a positive start to 2024 and that you really make this your year, because it can be whatever you want it to be.
It can.
Bye for now.
Bye.